been a hot minute since we've done something on this channel that wasn't the podcast, so we're here for Ironheart. Uh, this is one of the more basic intro episodes they have ever had for a show.
Yeah, this is it's pretty obvious why they released this in chunks.
Yeah, so we want to say we got a lot about our intro, but we kind of did and kind of didn't. So Riri's did get kicked out of MIT because she was basically bankrolling multiple people's college graduations by handing out whole completed assignments, selling tech. Still don't know exactly what happened with the professor in the room before they got to the whatever's office that got her kicked out.
Yeah, so I think just something went wrong, and then he immediately just kind of paid the price.
So we have that. We have Riri taking the suit because she paid for it with her tuition. So she wasn't stealing it. And then she goes back home to Chicago. We get a little bit of the look of the Hood's crew. Again, very basic. Eric Andre is Eric Andre. So yeah, they're looking to replace him with Riri, which is a bit of an upgrade, even though he's not a slouch in that department. But again, we didn't get a whole hell of a ton from that, other than they need a tech person. And the basic other huge detail is that her dad or stepdad and friend, or is that her sister?
That's her best friend.
Okay, because there was at points where the word sister was said in weird ways to where the way they talked about certain things made that part confusing and were flip-flopping words for things being said, and the way that dialogue was from Xavier made it sound like things were different in one part's and different in another. So we find out that her best friend and her stepdad died in a shooting, assuming the garage got robbed.
That's what it looked like.
And that she's smart enough to make it into into the Hood's gang, and that I think her AI is now Natalie?
Yep. And that stands for Neuro Autonomous Technical Assistant and Laboratory Intelligence Entity.
I want to know who gets told they have to come up with these. They get given the name, and then they go, make that sound intelligent. And not overdone. And every time, it goes good for 90% of it, and then you get the remaining vowels, and they just... Bleh.
Yeah, they always like just trail off.
It always trails off at the end. It never fails. It starts off so good. Like, the only ones they ever did that were good that didn't die in the ass end of it were Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Sword's even a little bit there, but, yeah, so... I'm not trying to make this possibly the shortest recap episode we have, but man, not a whole lot else happened in this episode.
This is a very classic setup episode, and while we're not really given a lot of material to work with, I like the vibe of the show so far. I like Riri Williams quite a bit. That she's not just, she's not just a Tony Stark copy. She is someone with a completely different background and a completely different personality. Also, it's nice to see Cree Summer in a live action show.
It is. It is nice. Knew the voice right away.
Yep.
But yeah, it's definitely nice to see. You made a comment in the messages. Was it just because of what the show is, or did you hear something in the show that I didn't?
Well, okay, so the character that Anthony Ramos plays, the Hood, is he is very much magic based, and
Yeah.
Doctor Doom is like his whole thing is magic and science. So
Oh.
this show kind of feels like it's getting general audiences warmed up to what Doctor
Okay.
Doom is all about.
Gotcha. I thought there was something. I thought there was something else that I had missed, but yeah, to a degree, yeah, I get that. Yeah, and based on the spoiler that I got today, there's going to be even more of that.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. That whole thing can finally be put to bed. Thank Christ. Can't wait to see who their new Cry Wolf is now that that's out. But yeah, I don't got a whole ton else to kind of mention other than she has to get ready for this heist that she doesn't quite know what it is.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what this heist could be, but I'm pretty sure we'll have all of the details by the time we get to the third episode.
I am going to be really honest, though. I don't know why or if there's something underlying, but there was a line to me that was very dumb in this show, and it was from Riri's mom. Her stepdad, who she loved spending time with him, worked in an auto body shop. His dad, or stepdad, is killed in the auto body shop, where she spent all this time with him. Riri makes a comment that he would be upset about the condition you left the garage in, and her mom says, "I didn't even know you cared about it."
That confused me, especially with the flashback.
That line made legitimately no sense. And now she's mad at Riri for being upset with her, saying, "You're not back here long enough to be upset with me about that garage when I supposedly didn't know you cared about it."
Something there is not connecting.
That felt like two different people wrote scripts for different parts of this episode and didn't talk to each other. Especially when one scene of the dad being shot literally leads into her saying you didn't care. I don't know how they're going to explain that one away unless the mom has a literal memory lapse that she spent probably most of her life in the garage, because she was giving the lifelong dreamed auto mechanic advice. I legitimately don't know why she said that, and I can't even come up with a plot line that would develop in her to say something like that.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, that was weird, but
Other than that one line, the rest of the dialogue was solid.
yeah, it wasn't too bad. That one just really kind of, like, dialogue doesn't normally drag me out of something. That line legitimately stopped me in my tracks. Like, you have no reason to say that, question that, or not be aware of that. But anyway, hopefully that somehow gets explained at some point. But unless you don't have anything else, I think we can get on out of here. Mike, where can everyone find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterbox.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. If you're somehow watching this and you are a fan or looking forward to Ghost of Yote, I am doing a giveaway for the game at the midnight release of the game on my Twitch channel, which is the same as the YouTube channel you'll be watching this on. All you need to do is be watching and subscribe. That's all you need to do. If you are a fan of cosplays and such, you can go over to my Instagram where all my cosplay stuff and conventions and all that shabazz is on over there. So, until next time, we will see you all later. Bye.